in het Indonesische Sulawesi loopt op. Steeds meer christelijke organisaties zetten noodhulp op om de bevolking te helpen. We zijn er meteen na het nieuws van i24.
You're watching i24 News. I'm Eli Roberts in Tel Aviv with the top stories at this hour. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu firing back at Lebanese officials after the country's leaders denied allegations that Hezbollah is hiding missiles under a soccer stadium in Beirut. Netanyahu made the allegation in his speech to the UN General Assembly in New York, showing aerial photographs of weapon stores being held in civilian areas to protect them from being struck. Lebanese officials invited ambassadors stationed in the country to tour the soccer stadium where Israel says missiles are being held. But officials were only allowed to tour the field and not the underground facility where Israel says the missile production takes place. Prime Minister Netanyahu also claimed that there are 2 more secret missile facilities along with a nuclear site. Netanyahu said that Hezbollah is lying to the international community about the project, but Lebanon's foreign minister responded with this.
The Prime Minister of Israel uses the tribune of the United Nations to justify another violation of UN resolution and to justify another aggression on a sovereign country like Lebanon.
Prime Minister Netanyahu tweeting this, saying it is unfortunate that the Lebanese government is sacrificing the peace of its citizens to cover for Hezbollah, which has taken Lebanon hostage for its aggression against Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu also criticized Iran and its attempt to tie Israel to an attack on a military parade in Iran's southwest. Netanyahu called the claim that Israel was behind this ridiculous. This comes as Iran's Revolutionary Guard launched 6 missiles and drone bombers toward a target in Syria that Iran says was the headquarters for a terrorist group. One of the missiles had the slogans, "Death to America," "Death to Israel," and "Death to Al Saud" written on it. U.S. officials say Iran did not give advance warnings that it would strike. Only residents of the Philippines have a higher opinion of President Trump than do Israelis. A new poll out from Pew Research shows historically low support for Trump among America's traditional allies, with less than 10% of French and Germans supporting the American president. Meanwhile, 82% of Israelis say they view Trump favorably. But previous U.S. presidents had higher approval ratings among Israelis, including Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush. In Washington, President Trump praised the bipartisan support in Congress for Israel. The United States will give $3.3 billion over the course of 10 years for Israeli military support, plus another $500 million in defense spending. State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert tweeting this, that the implementation of this historic MOU reflects the enduring and unshakable commitment of the president, his administration, and the American people to Israel's security. The deal recently went into effect and was signed under former President Barack Obama. The death toll continues to climb as officials in Indonesia deal with the aftermath of the earthquake and tsunami that struck the island of Sulawesi. The death toll now stands at 1,234. Among the dead, 34 Indonesian students who were buried alive by a mudslide. A 7.7 earthquake struck the island on Friday. A 10-foot tsunami followed that caused the most damage. The town of Palu has taken the brunt of the damage. North Korean media report that the government there is ending the Korean War, and that ending the Korean War can never be a bargaining chip for getting North Korea to denuclearize. The Korea Central News Agency says ending the Korean War, which came to an armistice agreement in 1953, will not happen if the United States does not also want to end the war. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is set to meet U.S. President Donald Trump later this year for further talks on denuclearization. Officially declaring the Korean War was a component of the two's last meeting in Singapore. That happened several months ago. German officials foiled a far-right terrorist plot to attack the celebration of Germany's reunification. Police arrested members of the Revolution Chemnitz group early Monday in Germany's Bavaria and Saxony regions. The group has been behind attacks on foreigners in eastern Germany. They had started operating together on September 11th. Officials say the group purchased automatic weapons and plan to strike on Wednesday during German Unity Day. Leaders of the group say that they want to overthrow the German government. And those are the top stories at this hour. Stay with the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and on our website at i24news.tv. You're watching i24 News.